Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. Time is our most valuable asset. And of course, you won't want someone to take your money or seed corn. You also shouldn't let anyone waste your time. Time is precious, and it's important to protect it just like you would protect your capital. When should you begin your day? You start as soon as you finish planning it. Map out your day meticulously, allowing for flexibility to accommodate surprises and unforeseen events. Yet, if you've crafted a solid plan for a productive day, that's when you kickstart your activities. You'll be amazed at how much more valuable your time becomes. Don't commence the day until you've completed its blueprint. Likewise, don't start the week until you've had it finished. To lay out a week is a pretty good challenge. Next, don't start the month until you have it finished. The places to go, the people to see, the productivity, the sales, the customers, the development, and all the rest of what you want to accomplish during the course of 30 days. Don't start the month until it's finished. While you may not be able to plan every minute, ensure you have a clear vision of what you aim to achieve throughout the year. But come January 1st, things may deviate from your plans. You might even exceed your expectations and make significant progress in the first 90 days. This happened to me once. I thought, wow, here's how this is going to be a great year. But by the time I'd finished the third month, I'm rolling, I'm soaring, and so many things are happening, I revised my whole year's plan. It's amazing how things can change for the better when you start planning. Life is not just the passing of time. Life is a collection of experiences, their frequency and their intensity. Life is not just watching the clock tick away. Life is a collection of experiences, their intensity and their frequency. When my friend Mark died at age 44, someone says, "That's young to die." But what if he lived 4 lifetimes in one? It might not be too young, whatever the span of your life turns out to be. So here's what you want to fill it up with: experiences and the intensity of those experiences. My father lived for 93 years, which might sound like a long time, but it felt short. Even though he lived to the age of 93, it still felt short because we always wish we had more time with our loved ones. In ancient times, according to stories in the Old Testament, some people lived for hundreds of years, like 500, 600, 700, even 800 or 900 years. If I had the chance, I'd ask, how come we got shortchanged? It's an interesting question, don't you think? Just imagine having 700, 800, or 900 years to see your family grow and thrive through generation after generation. Now, you've got to be healthy to make it to 900, so no matter how long or short your life may turn out to be, it's important to focus on filling it with meaningful experiences and making those experiences intense and fulfilling. Becoming a master at time management will allow you to design and improve every aspect of your life. Managing your time meticulously is easier said than done, but just like anything great you will ever accomplish, the hardest step is to begin. Try not to just read through these steps, but to put them into action. Now let me share some tips on managing your time effectively. 1. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. Designing your life is a nice way of saying, don't let life happen to you, make your life happen. A ship that leaves its dock without a planned destination will wander the seas aimlessly, and guess what? It will never get to where it was meant to be. Every day is an accumulation of time. Therefore, managing your time is managing your day. This will lead to having your life planned out, day by day, until you realize you have achieved most, if not all, of your goals. 2. Think on paper. Write down your goals and dreams. This might be a document, app, or the old-fashioned pen to paper, but this is not an option. There is something special that happens when we jot down our goals because the mind begins to see them as actionable steps, not just dreams. Most people say they want to be successful and dream about being great, but have never written it out the steps to get there. Meticulously plan and schedule your life in real time on paper. This will lead to the next step, which is planning out how you will achieve your goals. 3. When you don't control your time will control you. Have you ever experienced a day in which you did not plan out your time, and before you knew it, you had gotten nothing done? This is how most people's lives go by. They have no specific plan for their time, and therefore for their lives. Your choices determine the person you end up being. See every moment as an opportunity to savor the time and make the most of it. If you control how you spend your time, you can control your successes and failures. Days are expensive. When you spend a day, you have one less day to spend. So make sure you spend each one wisely. Days are expensive. When you spend a day, you have one less day to spend. So make sure you spend each one wisely. 4. If it's easy to do, it's easy to not do. We kid ourselves, that's simple. Why should I plan it out? I'll just do it. This has proven not to work time and time again, simply because if it's easy to do, it is easy not to do. We are a product of the things we continuously do. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy is structured around a simple principle. Every single action, no matter how small, if done over and over again, will compound to a much larger product. The small things we ignore and don't do because we never plan for them will eventually accumulate to some big action we now have to take, which will be much harder. 5. Without a sense of urgency, desire loses value. If you don't plan out your time, you are not putting a timeline on your goals. Having deadlines creates a sense of urgency. This is why we start to work on a month-long project around the last week to the deadline. The pressure makes it seem dire and will act as a type of motivator to completing and accomplishing our goals. Put a deadline on your dreams, otherwise they are just that, dreams. Either you run the day or the day runs you. 6. Study the art of setting goals. Every day, write your goals fresh without focusing on yesterday. This is a good way to weed out non-priorities and refocus on your true goals. Focus is something lacking in today's society. Don't fall victim to this. So review your goals on a daily basis to reinforce them and make realizing them practical. Derek Mills suggests a daily standards system where we don't necessarily work towards a long-time goal, but focus on daily goals, which eventually turn into long-term successes. Also, remember to regularly review your goals. Take some time to go over your goals and ensure that your list is still motivating you and keeping you excited. If someone asked you why you're up so early, you can tell them, if you were going to meet who I'm going to meet, you'd be up early. If you were headed where I'm headed, you'd be up early too. It's all about setting yourself up for success and making sure that you're ready to take on whatever challenges or opportunities come your way. 7. We all have the same amount of time in a day. Start where you are. It doesn't matter where you are now. 90% of millionaires started out broke. The key to success is taking a lot of action on a great idea, and the only way to do this is to manage your time. Plan around every single action, no matter how simple. You can turn your life around at any given moment. The best way to do this is by time management. Start simple by having a notebook where you write down how you spend every hour of your time. If you surf the web for 2 hours, write it down. If it takes you 30 minutes to stalk your favorite celebrity, write it down. Everything you do for 1 week, write it down. In the end, you will see where most of your time goes. You will also start to resent having to write down that you spent 1 hour looking at pictures of a car you could only afford if you actually used that time wisely. This is a great place to start. From there, you can follow the many time management tips available to you and see what works best for you.